Yemen is often discussed in terms of conflict, humanitarian crisis, and political instability, but one of the most overlooked factors behind these challenges is its geography. The physical landscape of Yemen is not just a backdrop. It is a powerful force that shapes the country's history, security, economy, and daily life. From rugged mountains and vast deserts to strategic coastlines and isolated valleys, Yemen's terrain creates both opportunities and dangers. Understanding this geography is essential to understanding why Yemen has faced persistent instability and why it remains one of the most complex regions in the world. Today we will talk about the dangerous geography of Yemen explained. So, before we start, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. A land of extremes, mountains, deserts, and coastlines. Yemen's geography is defined by dramatic contrasts. The western part of the country is dominated by high mountain ranges, some of the tallest in the Arabian Peninsula. These mountains are not only steep and rugged, but also densely populated in certain areas. They create natural barriers that make transportation, communication, and governance extremely difficult. To the east lies a vast desert region that stretches into neighboring areas. This desert is sparsely populated and difficult to traverse, limiting economic development and state control. Meanwhile, Yemen's long coastline along the Red Sea and the Arabian Sea provides access to important maritime routes, but also exposes the country to external threats and smuggling activities. This combination of mountains, deserts, and coastlines makes Yemen geographically complex and strategically sensitive. The mountain strongholds, natural fortresses. The mountainous regions of Yemen play a critical role in its security dynamics. These areas act as natural fortresses, providing protection for those who control them. Throughout history, various groups have used the mountains as defensive positions, making it difficult for external forces to establish control. The terrain allows for guerrilla-style tactics, where smaller groups can resist larger, more advanced militaries. Narrow passes, steep slopes, and limited access routes create significant challenges for any organized military campaign. This has been a major factor in Yemen's ongoing conflicts. Control over mountainous regions often determines the balance of power, and these areas are notoriously difficult to govern effectively. Isolation and fragmentation, a barrier to unity. Yemen's geography contributes to a high level of regional fragmentation. The difficult terrain isolates communities from one another, leading to the development of distinct local identities and loyalties. In many cases, these local affiliations are stronger than national identity. This fragmentation makes it challenging to establish a unified central government. Communication and infrastructure are limited, and reaching remote areas can take significant time and resources. As a result, governance is often decentralized, with local leaders playing a major role. This geographic isolation has historically hindered efforts to build a cohesive state, contributing to ongoing political instability. The strategic coastline, opportunity and risk. Yemen's coastline is one of its most strategically important features. It sits near one of the world's busiest maritime routes, connecting the Red Sea to the Arabian Sea. This makes Yemen a key player in global trade, as ships carrying goods and energy supplies pass close to its shores. However, this strategic position also brings risks. The coastline is difficult to monitor, creating opportunities for smuggling, piracy, and illegal trade. Control over coastal areas is often contested, adding another layer of complexity to the country's security situation. The proximity to major shipping lanes means that instability in Yemen can have global consequences, affecting trade and energy markets. The Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a global choke point. One of the most critical geographic features of Yemen is the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. This narrow passage connects the Red Sea to the Gulf of Aden and is a vital route for international shipping. A significant portion of global trade, including oil shipments, passes through this choke point. Control or disruption of this strait can have far-reaching effects on the global economy. Even minor threats to shipping in this area can lead to increased costs, delays, and uncertainty. Yemen's proximity to this choke point gives it strategic importance far beyond its borders. However, it also makes the country a focal point for international attention and competition. Water scarcity, a silent crisis. Yemen faces one of the most severe water shortages in the world, and geography plays a major role in this crisis. Much of the country is arid or semi-arid, with limited rainfall and few natural water sources. The mountainous regions can capture some rainfall, but it is often insufficient to meet the needs of the population. Overuse of groundwater has further depleted resources, creating long-term sustainability challenges. Water scarcity affects every aspect of life in Yemen, from agriculture and food security to public health and economic stability. It also contributes to local conflicts as communities compete for limited resources. Agricultural challenges. Farming in harsh conditions. Agriculture in Yemen is heavily influenced by its geography. Terraced farming in mountainous areas is a traditional practice that allows crops to be grown on steep slopes. While this method is effective, it is labor-intensive and limited in scale. In desert regions, farming is extremely difficult due to the lack of water and poor soil conditions. As a result, Yemen relies heavily on food imports, making it vulnerable to global market fluctuations. The combination of geographic challenges and limited resources creates ongoing pressure on the agricultural sector, affecting livelihoods and food security. Urban centers and accessibility issues. Yemen's major cities are often located in geographically challenging areas. For example, some cities are situated in mountainous regions, making them difficult to access. Roads are often narrow, poorly maintained, or vulnerable to damage. This lack of accessibility affects trade, healthcare, and emergency response. In times of conflict or natural disaster, reaching affected areas can be extremely difficult, delaying aid and increasing the impact of crises. Urban planning and development are also constrained by the surrounding terrain, limiting expansion and modernization. Climate and environmental pressures. Yemen's climate adds another layer of difficulty to its geography. High temperatures, irregular rainfall, and frequent droughts create a harsh environment for both people and infrastructure. The difficult terrain complicates military operations, making it hard to achieve decisive victories. This often leads to prolonged conflicts with shifting front lines. Additionally, the geographic fragmentation of the country allows multiple groups to operate independently, creating a complex and dynamic conflict environment. Economic implications of geographic challenges. Yemen's geography has significant economic consequences. Limited infrastructure, terrain, and resource scarcity make it difficult to develop industries and attract investment. Transportation costs are high, and supply chains are often disrupted. This affects both domestic trade and international. As a result, economic growth is slow, and opportunities for development are limited. Despite these challenges, Yemen's strategic location offers potential for economic growth if stability can be achieved. Its position along major trade routes could be leveraged to support and logistics industries. As Yemen continues to face challenges, its geography will remain a central factor in determining its future. Whether it becomes a source of opportunity or continues to contribute to instability will depend on how these geographic realities are managed. If you like this video and would like to see more like it, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and click the button to subscribe.